Hello everyone. In this lecture, we'll be discussing the syllabus of security in detail. So let us begin. At first, we have linkages between development and spread of extremism, that how development is linked to spread of extremism. At first, we have factors responsible for spread of extremism. What are the various factors? We have communalism, underdevelopment, and exploitation. For communalism, we have examples such as Jammu and Kashmir, and in past we had Khalistani movement, how this communalism led to extremism. Then for underdevelopment and exploitation, we have examples such as left-wing affected areas such as Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. Then we have Northeast also. In these regions, underdevelopment and exploitation has led to spread of extremism. Then we have steps that state has taken or can be taken to reduce the spread of extremism due to underdevelopment. What steps can be taken? Like we can build schools, we can build hospitals, we can build roads in these areas, so to reduce the spread of extremism. Then we have role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to internal security. Like we have threats from non-state actors, Jammu Kashmir separatism, left wing extremism, northeast insurgency, right wing extremism. So, what are the threats we face from these non state actors? Then we have reasons for spread of terrorism. What are the reasons? Some of the reasons are here: communalism, underdevelopment, and exploitation. But we have other reasons also, like we have non state actors such as ISIS. Then we have state actors such as Pakistan, who sponsor terrorism in our country. Then we have state sponsored terrorism. What is the definition of state sponsored terrorism? Then you should know who are sponsoring terrorism in India. Like we have Pakistan, it is one of the biggest players. Then we have what steps we can take to tackle the challenge of state sponsored terrorism. Then institutional framework to tackle challenges of internal security. What are the institutional frameworks? NIA, NATGRADE, UAPA, TADA. These are the various institutional factors. Then we have challenges to internal security through communication networks. How communication networks pose a threat to internal security. Then in this we have emerging threats due to communication networks such as lone wolf attack, radicalization. How communication networks are leading to lone wolf attack or radicalization. Then we have challenges in managing communication network. What are the challenges we face in managing social media sites? One of the challenges that these are based in USA. Most of the social media sites are of USA, so they do not share data with us. Then we have encrypted messaging, that this encrypted messaging is used by terrorists, so it becomes hard to decrypt for security forces. So these are the challenges in managing communication network. Then steps that can be taken to achieve a secured communication network and to manage social media. To manage social media, we are bringing new laws to regulate them. Similarly, we have institutional framework to tackle the challenge, like we have IT Act, Censorship Act, various acts, so to prevent any unwanted information. Then we have cybersecurity. What is the meaning of cybersecurity? What is its definition should be known by us. What are the types of cyber attack? Like we have distributed denial of service, then we have phishing, then we have ID theft. These are the various types of cyber attack. Then what are the threats to Indian cyber security? What are the various threats? Then the steps that have been taken by India. In this we have Cyber Swachhta Kendra, CERT-In, etc. Then we have various international cooperations or conventions on cyber security, like Budapest Convention, Paris Call, etc. Then we have cyber warfare. Why do we need it at the first place? This is needed for deterrence. Like nuclear weapons, cyber warfare is also needed for deterrence. What are the threats? One of the threats is China. Then what are India's capabilities? Is India capable enough to handle a cyber warfare? Then we have money laundering and its prevention. In this, you should know what is the process for money laundering. This placement, layering, and integration. All these three steps should be known by us along with their definition. Then we have impact of money laundering. What is the impact? See, there is economic impact. There's political impact also of money laundering. It leads to corruption and nexus. Then there's social impact also. There are various impacts of money laundering. Then we have challenges to tackle money laundering. What are the challenges we face? One of the challenges is that our police is not cyber savvy or tech savvy. Another challenge is that there is nexus between the politicians and the criminals. So these are some of the challenges. Then what are the steps we can take or we have taken to counter money laundering? Like we have Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Then we have SFIO, that is the Special Fraud Investigation Office. So these are the various steps. Then we have security challenge and their management in border areas, how security challenges are present in border areas and how they are managed. In this we have challenges in managing border security. What are the various challenges in managing coastal and terrestrial security? For terrestrial we have LOC, okay, Bangladesh border. So the various border, what are the threats in those borders? Then land boundary dispute with neighbors. In this we have Pakistan and China primarily. There's also a small dispute with Nepal. Then we have India's twin policy of development and security in border area security management. What India has done is that it is developing border areas by building various amenities like healthcare facilities, school and roads, and it has also deployed various security forces such as CRPF, Army, okay, Assam Rifles, so to protect the border areas. So there's a twin policy of development and security with respect to border areas. Then we have types of security forces at Indian borders, like SSB is deployed in Nepal border, BSF is deployed in Pakistan and Bangladesh border. These are the various security forces. Then we have linkages of organized crime with terrorism, how both of them are linked. In this we have types of organized crime, like we have human trafficking, drug smuggling, money laundering. Then we have challenges in controlling organized crime. What are the challenges we face? That our institutions are not developed fully, that these crimes are transnational or international level. These are some of the challenges. And in Indian context, you should know the link between organized crime and terrorism, how terrorism leads to organized crime and how organized crime leads to terrorism. One of the example is that due to drug smuggling, due to organized crime, there is drug smuggling. This leads to terrorism. Okay, so this is how both of them are interlinked. Then we have various security forces and agencies and their mandate. Okay, what are various security police? What are the various security forces? We have CAPF, Central Paramilitary Forces, IB, RNAW, and what is their mandate? What is the mandate of CAPF? What is the mandate of RNAW? That should be known to us. So this more or less concludes the syllabus discussion for security. Thank you.